Yo, what's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Duncan, and today we're going to be going over the top 10 brawlers that I recommend maxing out if you want to push as high as possible in ranked. This list will be based off my personal opinion, some of the brawlers that I find to be the most OP, most versatile picks. So hopefully this list will help you guys figure out which brawlers you want to max out to push as high as physically possible in ranked. But if you're looking forward to the video today, please make sure you drop a like and subscribe to the channel. But that's going to do it for today's intro, guys. Let's go ahead and jump right into the video. Guys, so before we actually hop into our top 10 list, I do have a couple of honorable mentions. As you might be able to guess, Surge is going to be the first one. I got him and Amber kind of grouped into the same category. They're going to be sturdy lanes that you can kind of take into mid-range. You can take them into tanks, but they definitely can get the job done. They're pretty sturdy picks, like in the 2-3 spot, the 4-5 spot. Also, we have Mandy, Piper, and Angelo. Kind of any of those three snipers, as long as you have one of them, you should be good to go in most bounty knockout situations. But I definitely recommend having at least one of those snipers fully maxed out. Next up, we also have the new brawler Clancy. I have not personally got to play him yet, but I've watched enough YouTube. You guys have probably watched enough YouTube to tell that he looks pretty OP. So I'm going to put him on my list of honorable mentions as well. We also have Byron and Kit, who are going to be more knockout bounty type brawlers. Kit, I don't know if I can justify putting her in the top 10, putting him in the top 10, just because he's a little bit map and mode dependent. You can't really just go Kit. I wouldn't say he's a very versatile pick, but nonetheless, he is still pretty good in the exact right situation. And last but not least, for the honorable mentions, we do have Larry. If Larry's the only thrower you have, I personally think that you'll be more than okay, but that's going to do it for the honorable mentions, guys. Looks like we're not going to be able to squeak out a goal here. Not a big deal. Let's hop into the top 10. Hopping into our number 10 brawler, the first brawler that's going to make our list for the best brawlers to max out for the next season of ranked, we have Buster. I think that Buster is a very underrated tank, a very underrated brawler in general in this meta. He's got decent range for a tank. He's got the shield that can help you close the gap. And the main thing that separates him from other tanks is he's very viable in knockout and bounty. He can apply so much pressure to some of these snipers. The shield gives you so much time to push up with your teammates. And obviously his gadget as well is like pretty much an automatic kill if you're able to hit that onto a lower HP brawler. He's also extremely good in gem grab. He's good in brawl ball, good in hot zone. He's honestly pretty good in every single game mode. The only reason he's not going to be higher on this list is because you can't really pick Buster first. So that's kind of the one thing holding him back. You can counter a Buster, but as far as tanks go, he's one of the harder ones to counter. So that's going to make him pretty high up on the list here. As far as like maps and modes, you can kind of do it anywhere, anytime. Buster's just a very good, overall, well-rounded brawler. So that's going to make him number 10 on our list, but let's hop into number 9. Number 9 on our list of the best brawlers to max out for the next season of ranked, we've got Chester here. This might be a little bit of a hot take, but I think Chester is one of the most sturdy picks, especially early in the draft. There's really not a whole lot that counters Chester all that hard, and he is so good into like every tank and pretty much every mid-range brawler. I love picking Chester into Meg. I think Chester is one of the best Meg counters in the game. I also think that Chester is fantastic into like those mid-range brawlers like Sandy, Ems, Nita, Spike he's pretty good into, honestly. And obviously he's going to be that shutdown brawler to tanks. He's not the like best overall with the build. Obviously, getting the different super every time can be a blessing and a curse, and the gadget's a little bit useless, but overall, I mean, he's got so much damage, especially with that star power rework, where he gets the additional double damage from the first single shot, as shown right there. But yeah, no, Chester does so much more damage than people give him credit for, and I think being the best counter for Meg, who you guys will probably be able to guess is going to be decently high on this list, that absolutely gives him a huge advantage. If the other team goes Meg first pick, I'm almost always taking a Chester 2-3 turn. As far as the best maps and modes for Chester, you can honestly kind of run him almost anywhere. Knockout and bounty are going to be the exclusion to that rule. I wouldn't recommend going him there, but hot zone you can get away with, gem grab you can get away with, brawl ball you can get away with. Any of those game modes where there's going to be those higher HP options, Chester is always going to be a pretty good pick. Our number 8 brawler on the list of the best brawlers to max out is going to be my personal favorite brawler, Rico. It's no bias here, guys. I actually legitimately think that Rico is absolutely one of the more versatile brawlers, one of the best draft picks in ranked. There's so many hot zone maps, so many heist maps, and so many gem grab maps, especially Hard Rock Mine, Dueling Beetles, where Rico is just absolutely OP. This map especially is another one where Rico is absolutely broken. And then one of the reasons I think that Rico is super underrated too is because he's very underrated in knockout and bounty. And you can kind of run whichever build you want. If you're gonna, wow, that was an incredibly quick game. But if you're going into tanks, you're obviously gonna want to run the multi-ball launcher. If you're playing knockout bounty, you're probably gonna want to run the heal gadget. I typically like going him around the 4-5-2-3 turn. I feel like he's one of those middle of the draft brawlers that has a lot of success. But that's gonna be it for the Rico game. Extremely quick gameplay there. Let's hop into number 7 on the list. Number 7 on the list, guys, we're gonna go with Max. Actually, one of the most versatile brawlers of all time, but especially in this meta right now, Max is such a good early pick in the draft. She is extremely good in Hot Zone. She is extremely good in Gem Grab, extremely good in Brawl Ball, extremely good in Heist. Max is honestly just so good. The reload gadget, or the reload star power, is going to be very essential, especially if you're going into like those tankier options. But another reason that I like Max is you can run her into some of the less sorry, let me focus up here. You can run Max into some of the like longer range options, some of the snipers, some of the throwers, because you have that additional speed to juke more shots. You have those gadgets to get in and out of trouble. And then obviously, one of the most important things with Max is making sure that you're running her when your teammates have good synergies. If you have tanks on your team, if you have like Sandy or Nita on your team, Max is always going to be that good pick to make your teammates even better. You'll have that additional speed to give to yourself and your team. Max has a broken hypercharge, which is absolutely essential. And just overall, Max has good damage to deal with mid-range and tanks. She's got enough maneuverability to deal with long-range and throwers. Just makes her one of the most OP safe picks in the draft at pretty much any stage. You can go Max with a first pick, you can go Max with a last pick, you can go Max with a middle pick, and that's going to be one of the reasons why I highly recommend maxing her out. Coming in at number 6 on our list, guys, we've got Gale. I don't play a whole lot of Gale, but I honestly can fully admit that I've been completely underrating Gale. Gale is so good in this meta, guys. He absolutely shuts down so many of the tankier options. He shuts down assassins as well, especially with this tornado gadget. Like if a Fang, if a Lily, if a Mortis, if a Daryl, if like any of those options are going to dash on you, you can use that tornado. They can't do anything about it. If anybody jumps on you, you can use that tornado. They can't do anything about it. The jump pad is sneaky underrated, especially in hot zone. You can use that jump pad to just repeatedly get your teammates into the zone from the spawn. It has so much value over the course of the entire game. I think it's brutally underrated. And then obviously having a hypercharge is a absolutely massive thing for how good a brawler is in today's day and age. You kind of need a hypercharge if you're going to be one of the best brawlers in the game, unless your name is Meg. But Gale's hypercharge is absolutely broken. He gets it pretty quickly, and it does like 2,000 damage and shoots through walls. Like that's always going to be broken if there's something that can do something like that. But yeah, as far as like where to pick Gale in the draft, I would say like not usually a first pick option, usually a 2-3 or a 4-5. But he's going to be good if the other team ever goes a tank first pick. It's usually a pretty safe bet to say that you can hop on the Gale. If it's like Brawl Ball or Hot Zone, it's usually a safe bet to hop on the Gale. And then if the other team has Meg, you can usually hop on the Gale. Gale is pretty decent into the Meg, which is very important. That's going to be about as much as I have to say about Surge, guys. So let's hop into Brawler number 5. Number 5 on our list of best brawlers to max out, we are going to have Lily. One of my least favorite brawlers in the game by a long shot. I don't play her all that often because I like to ban her a lot, but this brawler is absolutely so broken. There's absolutely no reason that she needed this much of a balance change, but since she's got that balance change, she's got the 2 ammo slots, by far the best assassin in the game. Absolutely broken in knockout and bounty. You have a very broken gadget that allows you to basically cheat death. Also I have my Lily at like 5 trophies, so forgive me for the crappy gameplay, guys. But yeah, I mean, the super is OP. You can pretty much kill any like mid to low HP brawler with that super immediately. You can use your gadget to absolutely sneak up on anybody from anywhere. If you're one shot, you can use the gadget whenever you want just to completely cheat death. But yeah, Lily's one of the most broken brawlers in the game. There's not really all that much that counters her. Like Surge, Gale are going to be 2 of the things that counter her pretty well, as well as some of the other tankier options in the game like Jackie, Primo. But yeah, that's going to be about as much as I have to say about Lily. Let me see if I can get a nice cheeky goal here to finish it off against these absolute scrubs. Trick shot. Beautiful game. So that's going to do it for our number 5 brawler, Lily. I hate this brawler so much. I highly recommend either getting her maxed out or banning her every single game. That's going to be my professional recommendation, but let's get into brawler number 4. Number 4 on our list of the best brawlers to max out, we are going to have Barley. The reason that I think Barley is going to be so high on this list is because he is so versatile. Once again, I've said this so many times, but he is so good in so many different situations, so many different game modes. He's one of the best throwers to counter other throwers. I think that he is the best thrower counter into Barry, absolutely. I think he does kind of counter Barry, which is very big in this meta. And also, he's got like enough damage to kind of deal with some of the tankier options. If the other team has a Frank, if they have a Primo, if they have a Jackie, you can rock with the slow gadget and you'll be able to have enough damage to hang with them. He also has a very broken hypercharge, which you guys might tell is a theme that broken hypercharge brawlers are going to be broken in general. Also, I think that this gadget right here is criminally underrated in this meta. I usually rock with 4 of them, honestly, because if you're just in a position like this and you just spam out the gadgets, your team is going to get a goal. And hopefully I can prove my point here. Maybe not. Maybe the Fang wipes us. Okay, never mind. His best game modes, I think, are going to be Heist, because obviously he has a trillion damage per shot. He's got the super, the hypercharge. They do so much damage to the safe. He's very good in Brawl Ball as well as Hot Zone. I think that those are the 3 game modes that I would recommend running Barley in. But also on Knockout Bounty, there are some situations where you can go with Barley. I think on Flaring Phoenix, Barley is extremely good on that map as more of a last pick. As far as where to pick Barley, I still would not recommend going Barley first pick in a draft. I don't really think that there's ever a reason to go a thrower that early, just because they do get countered by aggro, and the other team could always go double tank or double assassin, something like that. So you never want to leave yourself too vulnerable there, but if the other team has already taken something that's not good into a thrower, and they only have like 1 or 2 picks left, I think that Barley can kind of survive a counter pick a little bit. So that's going to be a lot of my reasoning for going with Barley this high on the list. I know a lot of people might not think that he is as good as he is, but I think that he's honestly miles ahead of Larry and Lori. Maybe that's just a personal preference, but I think that he is a significantly better thrower in the game, and for that reason, he's going to be top 5 on our list. So that's probably going to be about all I have to say about Barley. Let's see if we can get a goal before overtime here. We are not going to get a goal before overtime here. All right, that's going to do it for Barley, guys. Let's hop into our top 3. Starting off our top 3, guys, we are going to start with the tank himself, Mr. Frank, a brawler that I don't play that often, but probably should. Holy crap, Dynamite. The reason that I think Frank is going to be so OP in this meta is because he has a trillion HP. He can attack at the drop of a dime once he's on low HP. He does so much damage in the right situation, and he's so hard to kill in every situation. I think that as a last pick, he is honestly super broken. If the other team doesn't have like a super hard tank counter, you can almost always get away with going a Frank last pick. Even in knockout or bounty, the game mode does not matter all that much. As long as the other team can't take you down, they can't take you down. So that's going to be kind of my rationale for ranking Frank as high as I do here. Let me see if I can finish off a kill here. Nice. Going to be able to do that. I'm not very good at this brawler. I just don't personally like his playstyle that much, but I probably need to practice him more because I don't think that he is going to be going anywhere anytime soon. Okay. Another reason he's going to be OP, guys, you've probably heard me say this a couple times, but he has a hypercharge. Hypercharges are so good. See if I can break this guy's ankle. It's not going to be able to. Not really too worried about it. But yeah, his hypercharge is extremely good, especially in conjunction with the... Oh, God, I wasted it. But with that gadget, you can just use it with the hypercharge. Nothing the other team can do to stop you, especially if you're behind a wall. As far as like map and mode to go Frank, I don't really think it matters all that much. Obviously, the more walls are up, the better Frank is going to be, especially in the beginning. But I mean, it's mostly matchup dependent for Frank. If they don't have tank counters, you'll be able to pop off with Frank. If they do have tank counters, you're not going to have very much fun. But that's kind of my opinion on the Frank. Let me see if we can get a goal here to finish it off. Yeah, not a brawler that I play that often. Probably a brawler I need to practice a bit more. But that's going to be it for the top 3 here. Let's see if we can get into brawler number 2. Hopping into number 2 on our list, we have Barry the horse. I think that Barry is, obviously as the new brawler, he's going to be pretty broken. But this brawler has eclipsed all that I thought was possible with new brawler releases. Not actually, but he is so broken. The shot lasts for incredibly way too long. The healing is too much. He gets his super too fast. There's a lot of things that I can complain about with balance changes with this brawler, but I mean, right now he is broken, so you might as well capitalize. I think that he is a brawler that you absolutely should have maxed out. There's a lot of different playstyles you can go with Barry. You can be a little bit more aggressive of a Barry in like knockout or bounty, dash onto the other team's thrower, see if you can get a kill, or you can just sit back with your teammates, kind of hang out, see if you can heal them up the entire time, move up with them as a unit. I don't necessarily think that he's like a first pick on every map type of brawler. You can absolutely get countered as a Barry. Like things like the monkey, things like Frank are going to counter him extremely hard. You just don't have all that much damage. You kind of have to hit like every shot as a Barry to be able to take down a tank. But the thing with Barry is that it is a team game. And if you can keep your teammates nice and juiced up, then your team is just going to have a lot of success. Number 1 on our list, guys, we have my least favorite brawler to play against right now. Her name is Meg. I think this brawler is absolutely so busted. Ever since the rework where she got more shots but less range, she has just been absolutely terrorizing the meta, guys. She is a first pick. She is a last pick. She is a middle pick. You can go her absolutely anywhere. Definitely the most versatile first pick in the game, in my opinion. She stays in that, obviously I'm out of the mech right now, so it's going to sound a little goofy, but she stays in that HP mech for so long, especially with the other gadget where you can heal. It is just so difficult to get her out. She's good into snipers because you have to hit like 4 to 5 shots to get her out of the mech at all, and then you still haven't even got the kill yet. She's good in the tank. She absolutely shreds tanks, absolutely shreds mid-range. She really has like no weaknesses. As I said earlier, I do think like Chester and Surge are like 2 of the better brawlers. Gale's one of the better brawlers to counter her. But overall, there's nothing that like super hard counters a Meg. For that reason, I would call her the best first pick brawler in the game. Probably the best brawler in the game overall. Obviously, you can dominate harder with a Frank. You can dominate harder with a Barry in the right situation, but just as far as being versatile and being OP, Meg honestly has to have the number 1 spot, in my opinion. If I could only go 1 brawler for the entire ranked season and still try to hit masters, I would absolutely choose the Meg. You can honestly go either gadget as well. I do personally think that the heal gadget is a little bit better just because it does help you stay up in the mech, especially in like hot zone, brawl ball, gem grab. I would probably recommend going with that shield, but the toolbox is very good for like tanking Piper, Angelo shots. I think that you can definitely get some good use out of all of her gadgets, all of her builds. As far as gears go, I do think that the health gear is extremely underrated on Meg. So if you don't have very many, if you've never tried out the health gear, I think that Meg's a good brawler to give it a shot on. But yeah, Mega's just super OP, super broken in general. I think the best brawler in the game. But that is going to do it for our list, guys. Hopefully these picks help you out a little bit. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the list here. Hopefully it gives you guys some insight on which brawlers I think are going to be the best to help you guys push as high as you can in rank this season. This is my personal opinion. These are the brawlers that I've either had the most success running as or the most pain going against in ranked. But if you have some combination of these 10 brawlers and some of the honorable mentions maxed out, then you should have more than enough to cover different circumstances, different types of drafts, and different types of picks that you might end up with in the draft. So hopefully this knowledge is helpful to you guys. Let me know if you guys want me to do more videos like this in the future. It definitely takes a little bit more effort, but I can make it happen for you guys. If you guys did enjoy this video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Also leave a comment letting me know that you would appreciate more types of videos like this in the future. And feel free to join the Discord. That's going to be linked in the description below, guys. But thanks again for watching the entire video. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll catch you guys in the next video.